What's up guys, call sign Legend here. It's time to give you my review of the G&G Combat Machine SRL. I want to give a shout out to Red Tactical Airsoft for getting me this awesome gun to review. Without them, this wouldn't be possible. You can find them on Facebook by Red Tactical Airsoft. You can find them on Instagram at Red Tactical Airsoft. And you can check out their website, www.redtactics.com. So let me start this review by saying I am an old combat machine owner. The older combat machine was my first ever airsoft gun, or the first one I ever took seriously. I had a bunch of pistols, but that was my first M4, and since then I've gone through a lot of troubles with that rifle, and it actually got completely revamped by Red Tactical, and they just turned that thing into a beast. But when I heard about this gun coming out, I was really excited because I just wanted to see what they added to it and what they did with their flagship gun. And when I finally got my eyes on it and got my hands on it, I was impressed just right out of the box. Just looking at it, even in looking at it, you can see that this is far from what they gave you in the first package. Just the finishing on it, you've got a lot of detailing in there. There's a lot more just labeling on it. There's just a lot of fine tuning they did to it. And when a company does that to a gun that everybody's gonna buy anyway, you kind of have to appreciate that. So let's just dive right into it. I'm not a big guy on trademarks. That's not going to make or break my decision to buy a gun. I know a lot of pistol guys are like that. They got to have trademarks and serial numbers and so on and so forth to impact their decision to buy one. I'm not that guy. But what I will say is the detailing that they did put on this gun, just the engraving of their logo here, the slits here, the grip is textured a little bit right here so you can actually grip your mag well. They've also got G&G on this thing almost everywhere, from the stock up to the barrel, on the sights, just everywhere on this thing. And it's little things like that that you can appreciate, because on the old combat machine, G&G was probably on it about twice, maybe 3 times if I'm not mistaken, probably twice, just once here, and it was written here, it wasn't engraved like this. That's something I've liked on other brands of guns, and I'm glad to see G&G do that. That's a really big step up to me and something I could appreciate. Other improvements, and one I was most appreciative of, is this grip. This grip is super comfortable compared to other grips I have on other guns, and just playing with these things for long days, out in the heat, really getting down in the dirt with this thing, just actually holding it isn't so bad. I found myself holding this gun a lot more when I'm playing with it than just kind of letting it hang from my sling. Also, they did finally add just a regular, flat head so that you can adjust your motor height. That was one of my pet peeves about the old Raider, that you had to get an Allen key in there and really screw that in. That ultimately made me screw it up a little bit too. But side note, moving up to the actual body of the gun, you can see they have innovated that a lot in the sense that now your mag release is ambidextrous. Unfortunately, the fire selector isn't. For lefties, it's kind of a drawback. Fortunately for me, I'm a righty. But it's not something that could make or break buying a gun to me. Maybe it's a little bit selfish, but I'm not going to not buy a gun because the fire selector isn't ambidextrous, and I could probably count on my hands the amount of times I've used the opposite side mag release. Another part of this gun I really like, and it's an issue I've had with other guns straight out the box, is that the upper and lower completely sealed. That is actually very important to me, because I've seen people that their guns may have gotten a little bit of water, a little bit of dirt, a little bit of something in there just in the cracks between the upper and the lower, and that just completely ruined their gun, or they had to take it apart, clean it out, and all sorts of stuff. Out the box, this thing is completely sealed. You move up from there, and then you hit the key mod rails. Glad to see G&G get away from just a regular rail system like the ones they had on the other combat machines. And it seems to be that key mod is kind of the way of the future as far as airsoft guns go. Pretty much every gun coming out now has some variant of the key mod rail on it. But there are markings on here. They do have the G&G here, and also on their flip up sights it's there too. Flip-up sights, also a big deal for this combat machine. For those of you who had the old one, this front sight, you had to take off the whole outer barrel just to get that thing off, or take a saw to it, and then it ended up really trashy or nasty. And some people sharpied it, painted it, whatever the case may be. It was a pain in the butt. This comes right off, but I'll probably leave them on there because I like them. That brings you to the rail. I am a little disappointed that the rail isn't numbered. When I pack my gun away, I do take everything off of it just so nothing breaks, and I'm a little paranoid like that because that's how I broke my GoPro. But I am a little disappointed that the top rail isn't numbered. Once again, not something that's going to make or break, my decision to buy it. Eventually, I'll probably just put a little bit of like whiteout or something there to, indicate where I normally like my sight. I probably ran about 5 or 6 games with this, so I have a good feel for it, but I'm still trying to feel out exactly where I want things on this gun and where I want attachments on it. That does bring me to a pet peeve about this gun. This has always been my problem with the G&G rifles. This thing here does not stay back. It is very, very difficult to adjust your hop up when you have to hold this thing, because the minute I let it go, I can't touch my hop up anymore. So let's imagine a world where you're sitting here and trying to adjust your hop up, and you're just, playing with this and still kind of shooting, but this is annoying. You can't really cut it off because there is a little piece of plastic that raises here to release the dust cover. Is it something I wish G&G fixed for this? Yes, because it's significantly easier to do this on other guns. Once again, not a make or break thing. For others it is. For me, not so much. I can get around it. But that is probably one of the improvements that I wanted them to do, but they didn't quite do it. So now for the back side of the gun. This stock, major improvement. I've always wanted a minimal stock on one of my guns, but also one that could hold the type of batteries I use. I do use LiPos, mainly 11 ones. But I get these little brick style ones. I find them for a little cheaper, and they work better for me. They also come with a bunch of little attachments. I'll show you guys those at another time. But this stock, even though minimal, can hold those batteries. I've shown some pictures of it on Instagram. I'll probably put it in here somewhere. But to finally be able to get a stock like this and still not have to change my batteries is great. Just a couple things about it. Is fully adjustable, very easily adjustable at that. I've had other stocks that I've had to fight with. Also has an extra compartment here just for other batteries, for your flashlights or whatever the case may be. I actually saw a guy stick some Skittles in this, but that's a whole other story. The top to this, it is a little bit difficult to get off when you first get it, but once you get the hang of it, it's not so bad. I do like this, that this is attached. Does not come off, well, it probably can come off, but doesn't come off when you're using it, and it swivels to the side. I've seen other stocks where it pulls down, whatever the case may be. I don't mind that this swivels to the side. I like it. I don't plan on replacing the stock at all. There is a significant amount of battery space there. You can fit your average, stick LiPos in there. They go in there extremely easily, and I can actually fit that brick LiPo in here and still, play with the stock a little bit. In most cases, I wouldn't be able to move the stock so much when that battery is in here, but it works out perfect for me. As you can see, it's been deansed already thanks to Red and the guys, which pretty much every company should be doing that by now. Most people I know, anybody who plays airsoft at this point, honestly, they do one of two things first. They either remove the flash hider or they wire it to some type of other connector, maybe Dean's, XT's, or whatever the case may be, because the Tamiya connectors just aren't cutting it anymore. So now into performance. This thing did impress me out the box. First off, you do get 3-round burst, which is a nice little added feature that most M4s do not have out the box. I think some G36s get it, but you can almost never count on getting it with an M4. That's very impressive. Also, due to the electronic trigger system in this, as well mixed with having a MOSFET and a bunch of other things that are just electronically sound in here, you do get a great response out of this gun. Is it HPA quick? No, because most HPA guns have only one moving part. There's a lot more stuff going on in here, so it's going to take a little longer to get your BB out the barrel. But it's pretty damn quick for an AEG. You know, I really don't have to pull the trigger back that much, and truth be told, I play on semi-automatic almost exclusively with this gun. I've played with the 3-round burst, which is actually great. The groupings are great on it. Pretty much all 3 BBs are hitting the exact same spot. But I play a lot on semi-auto with this, and just a lot of single fire stuff, and that's even outdoors where I'm allowed to use automatic. But I just don't feel it's necessary because of the response for this. Most of the time with my previous guns, the only reason I played on automatic was because the response just wasn't there, and I wanted to get a bunch of BBs down range. But with this, I don't feel the need to do that. Response is great, groupings are great, accuracy over range, which is very different from accuracy, is great with this thing. I don't really plan to do much with this gun internally. I'll probably just put in a different barrel, but that's about it. Chrono wise, out the box, I chronoed it with .25s. It hit about 290, 292. It averaged about 290. I would say with .2s, that'll be somewhere around 320, 330 on a good day. So it's not horribly underpowered. A lot of people in the Southeast are going to be like, oh man, you know, it's not, you know, but in other parts of even in other parts of the country, you can't really shoot above 350. So to most people, this gun will be getting them in the game right on par with everybody else that's been tinkering with their guns for years. So with that said, there was a little bit of a price increase on this. Justified? Yes. You can just look at this compared to the old Combat Machine and see this is a completely different ball game here. Just as far as aesthetics, down to internals. You get a MOSFET, electronic trigger unit, 3-round burst, which is something most other M4s don't come without the box. You're getting a whole bunch of stuff on the exterior of the gun. I believe they do sell a flash hider or suppressor that goes right over this, and that's why this orange flash hider is threaded. So you can just screw the new one right on it and never have to take this off, just, you know, for traveling issues or shipping issues. It's probably better that you leave this on, especially if you're shipping anywhere to Cali or something like that. But like I said, performance-wise, this thing is a beast out of the box. Is it going to outperform other guns? You know, not really, but it's going to be up there performing with them, especially for something you're just getting and not putting a dime into besides buying it. It's going to perform right with those. Final thoughts on this gun: great buy depending on your price range. For anybody looking to get in the game, at this point, spending $150 is kind of just getting there, and 9 times out of 10 when you spend $150, you're going to spend a bunch more on upgrades just to, you know, get yourself competitive with others. To take that small step up to the $200 range, this will get you right on par with most people that are, you know, playing the game in the States. Like I said, you're going to chrono right around, you know, 320, 330, which is pretty much just about up to field standards in most states. Added to that, this is a gun that G&G is not going to let go of. You're not going to see this one get discontinued because this is pretty much their flagship gun. When you think G&G, you think Combat Machine. And to see them take their old Combat Machine and turn it into this is amazing, and it tells you that they're not just going to let this thing go. So you're going to see improvements to it. You're going to see a lot of people getting these. You're going to see a lot of little different things you can do to it. So to start with this base would be a good idea. This isn't my first gun, but this is a great gun to have in my arsenal, and I plan on running this in other events. I've ran it through 2 ops. I've ran it through a couple of skirmishes and a little bit of indoor play. But I do plan on bringing this to Faded Giant and pretty much running it exclusively because it does have that type of range for that environment, as well as the responsiveness I need for the CQB in the buildings. So I'm looking forward to running it there just to further see its versatility as far as, you know, transitioning from outdoor to indoor and not, you know, rehopping it and all sorts of things like that. So like I said, if you're looking to get in the game, you're looking to spend, south of $300, but north of, the 170 range, I would go with this. Just the amount of features you get out of it, you really can't find it in a package that's, going to be around that price range. Chances are a lot of things that come in here you really can't find out of the box in that price range either. So with that said, thank you guys for stopping by on my page. You guys know all my channels. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram at Legendary Airsoft. You guys have now found me on YouTube. Like, subscribe, share this video, show it to your friends, comment, tell me if you like it, tell me if you hate it. With that said, call sign Legend out.